Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's try that again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Awesome sauce. All right. So welcome to Piedmont Unitarian Universalist Church. Piedmont UU sits on the traditional land of the Catawba, Kiawe, and Sugary peoples. My name is Vanessa Sampson Schneider, and I will be your worship assistant for Reverend Dr. Amy Rio this morning. And we are a flourishing, vibrant, and radically welcoming congregation which promotes diversity, inclusion, and social justice. We provide a safe haven for creative intellectual growth, spiritual development, and a deep sense of community for all who join us. We hope our liberal religious values will challenge you to join us as a community that lives boldly and acts justly. To all of our visitors and members, we're so very glad that you are here today in person or with us online, and we hope to see you again. Your presence is a gift to us. So some announcements for today. We will be having a church-wide covered dish potluck on Sunday, March the 24th. That's 2 weeks from today, following our worship service. So please, if you are going to come to the get-together, bring some food to share with the ingredients listed to help navigate dietary restrictions. And after our meal, we will have a good old Easter egg hunt for the kiddos. I want to do it. And so for other important information about our vibrant community, please see our order of service, or if you're on our email mailing list, please check our monthly newsletter and weekly announcements. Whatever brought you to this place at this hour, we welcome you. And may you find something that you need, and may you leave richer in spirit than when you arrived.
I do want to begin by saying I give all of you gold stars today with the time change, that you're here and it's the right time. And especially if you're parents of children, I know it's a little extra challenging today, so glad to see all of these wonderful smiling faces. As we look towards our chalice, each flicker of the flame is different, moment to moment, transforming air and space with warmth and light. Let this be a reminder that we too are transformed moment to moment, releasing the past and welcoming what is to come. Please join me in singing the words to lighting our chalice, the symbol of our faith. I invite you now to please rise and body your spirit for our call to worship. Welcome to this place where certainty transforms to questions.
This place that takes what is and imagines
Welcome to this space where what was fixed begins to shift. Welcome to this moment of change where together we transfigure and transcend together. Our opening hymn is found in our gray hymnal, number 128, For All That Is Our Life. Please be seated, and we invite the children to come forward. Okay. All right, I have a couple runners this morning, but yeah, it's that's right. You know, it is so tough with the time change on everyone, but especially little kiddos, right? So, hey, sweetie, hey, Lizzie. So how are y'all doing today? Doing okay? Are you tired? Are you tired? A shy day? No. It's a pretty day. I hope you get to go outside and play some today too. So, yeah. So maybe not right this second. I shouldn't have said that. So, I have a book I want to share with you. All right. It's called Maybe Something Beautiful, and it's written by Isabel Campoy and Teresa Howell. It's illustrated by Rafael Lopez. So it's about this little girl called Mira. And let's get over here to where Mira is. Here's Mira. And she lives in this really gray city. See, everything's kind of dark and gray. And Mira is in her room. And she loves to color and draw and make pretty pictures with lots of different colors. And she's wondering, is there anything I can do to help make the rest of my city beautiful, just like my room is? And so what she decides to do is she goes out and she takes some of her pretty pictures that she's colored and she starts handing them to people. So how do you think that makes people feel if you can give them something pretty to look at? Do you think people would like that? Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. People love. One of my favorite things in the church is I actually have a shoebox at home, And I keep things that children have drawn for me over the years that they've given me. It makes me so happy, especially when I've had some little girls who've drawn me all in my big, this fancy stuff I wear, my robe and my stole. I love those pictures. So she starts handing them out, and it makes people happy. And things start to brighten up in her city a little bit. It's not so gray anymore. And she decides this one pretty picture of the sun she's going to tape to the wall. And instead of just giving it away, she wants anyone who comes by who can see it. And then she meets this man, and he says, "I love your picture. That is so pretty. And it makes everything so beautiful." She said, "Maybe we can make things even more beautiful together." And she says, "How can we do that?" He said, "Well, I'm an artist, and I have permission where I can paint this wall. So let's paint the wall." And he starts to paint, and all these beautiful colors come about. And then he hands Mira a paintbrush and says, "Do you want to paint with me?" And she, no? I was going to say, what do you think she said? She said, no, maybe painting's not for everyone. But in Mira's case, she loves to paint, so she decides to say yes. Yes. And so, see, she starts to paint all these colors. And what do you think happens next after she starts to paint? We're getting there, actually. So, what do you think? Do you think other people want to come join her? Because it's so fun and it's pretty? Yeah, other people start to come and they start to paint, and everyone's real happy. And this gray city is looking a lot better. See how much fun everyone's having? And it's just beautiful. And then, you're absolutely right, a policeman does come. A police officer comes along, and he says to Mira, "Excuse me." And how do you think she feels when he starts to talk to her? Yeah, she might be mad. She's like, "I'm helping make things pretty. All of us are, right?" But it turns out he says, "Can I paint with you?" And she says, "Yes." And so they all start to paint, and then the whole city is so beautiful. Lots of color and vibrant. It's transformed into this beautiful place. All because one little girl just started handing out some pretty pictures that she painted. So, can y'all think of anything that you might could do that could help make things happier and brighter? Maybe just some little things?
I can paint some luncheon, some pretty
Yes.
guy in the
That, absolutely. Harley's ready to paint lots of things. You gonna paint a shark? Oh, I bet that's beautiful too. Yeah. And then maybe you could hand it to someone and make them real happy.
Smile at a stranger.
Smile at a stranger, right? Smile at someone maybe who may not be smiling. Can make them have, you don't have to paint something. Smile. You want to paint an owl? Yeah. There's so many wonderful things we can do. We can smile or be kind, or maybe hand a pretty picture or something to someone and just help make the world a lot better place. So, well, thank y'all for being here, and you can go off with Miss Sue here, and I will see you next week. Yes. Oh, and with Mr. Isaac, too. We now enter into our time of ritual and sacred sharing. It's a time where we share our joys and sorrows, our concerns and milestones. So we have some candles we will light this week. First, we light a candle for Alex, and baby Oliver, who's been in NICU, just came home. So we're very grateful for that. Yes. And keep your eye out for email to members, because we'll be working on a meal train and ways we can help support them with food. And she so much appreciates all the support everyone's given her, and just so many of the items on the baby shower list and everything. It just really has meant a lot to her. So we also light a candle for Risa with the passing of her mother in recent days. We light a candle for the ongoing struggle for civil rights in Iran, for a just peace in Israel and Palestine, and especially for action to be done for all who are suffering so greatly in Gaza. And as Ramadan begins today, we also lift up and light a candle for all our Muslim brothers and sisters and siblings. We light a candle for all areas of violence around the world, but especially Haiti and the war in Ukraine. Now at this time, as you feel called to do so, you are welcome to come forward along the far aisle against the wall, and you may fill out a prayer card to place on our prayer wall. You may light your own candle, joy or concern, and Vanessa will hand you the candle to light as you're ready, or you may simply drop a stone in our shared water. We now light a few more candles for the things we hold in our hearts, and also for those who are joining us virtually to honor what is in their hearts as well. I invite us now into a time of quiet rest, meditation, or prayer. I will sound the singing bowl, and then during this time of silence, I invite you to slow your breath and close your eyes and to visualize a swirling or a spiral somewhere within you, moving the winds within your body and bringing about transformation, inviting that into your life.
Transformation more often happens not when something new begins, but when something old falls apart. The pain of something old falling apart, chaos, invites the soul to listen at a deeper level. It invites and sometimes forces the soul to go to a new place because the old place is falling apart. Otherwise, most of us would never go to new places. This is when you need patience, guidance, and the freedom to let go, instead of the tightening your controls and certitudes. Living in the confusing, dark space for a while and allowing yourself to upon a new and unexpected shore. You can see why Jonah in the belly of the whale is such an important symbol.
Thank you, Vanessa. Our wisdom reading today is from Father Richard Rohr, priest and author. He has done a lot in his long life, written a number of things, and he also, one of the things I've kept up with most closely is the founder of the Center for Action and Contemplation. He founded that back in 1987. Now, among the many things he's done in his career, he has had a real focus on a multi-faith approach to the spiritual journey and has worked with other spiritual leaders from a variety of faith traditions. Now, this particular reading from Father Richard is on transformation, and it concludes with mentioning Jonah in the belly of the whale, one of the great mythical stories from the Hebrew Scriptures. Now, one thing I love about the story of Jonah is that Jonah's emotions are so authentic. We can all identify with them. So let's remember, or maybe for the first time, hear just a little bit about the story of Jonah. So this is in the Hebrew Scriptures, and God tells Jonah to go to Nineveh, which is this land, a foreign land far away. Wants Jonah to go there and to share about God's love. Now, Jonah did not like the Ninevites. He looked down on them and wanted to have nothing to do with that land. About the last place he wanted to go. So what did Jonah do? Especially if someone in authority is saying, oh, I want you to do this. Some of us like to do the opposite, right? So some of us have raised children who like to do the opposite. So Jonah hops on board a ship that takes him in the opposite direction. And here's the part of the story I think many people know. So God is displeased, and a storm comes along, and it flings Jonah off the boat into the belly of a big fish. And the Hebrew does say big fish, for 3 days and 3 nights. Of course, 3 is a sacred number for so many different religions and faith traditions, meaning a sacred, holy amount of time. So Jonah is released and decided, well, I guess I better go to Nineveh then, right? So he went, and the reception is amazing. The people there, the Ninevites, receive his story with open arms. So how do you think Jonah reacted to that? Surprise? He did. Thank you. Someone's heard the end of this story. A lot of people don't know. What happens is Jonah, he was not happy. Jonah decided to go sit under a tree and pout. So I think that's one of the things I love so much about this story, because everyone thinks, oh, Jonah is successful. Everything's gone great. Oh, he's happy. No, he's not, because he could not let go of his prejudices and his initial dislike of not wanting to go. He wanted to hold on to those original feelings he had. He couldn't let it go. He still wasn't happy. People around Jonah were transformed, but even 3 symbolic days stuck in the belly of a big fish were not enough for Jonah to let go of that to which he held so tightly. It was not enough for him to allow his own inner transformation to begin. If we hold so tightly to things of the past, whether it's beliefs or items, some relationships, then we don't allow room for what the future holds, for the joy and transformation that is allowed space to come in. Now, about 10 years ago, I was preparing our family home in Greensboro to be put on the market. This was the home, my younger child was getting ready to graduate from college. This was the home where I'd had two elementary, middle school, high schoolers, 2 dogs, 2 cats, a bunny, a fish, all the neighborhood friends, families, people, coming in. But Ava was heading off to college. I was moving to a condo in Winston-Salem, and I was starting new life as a single person. We needed to get rid of a lot of stuff that families accumulate over the years. And many of y'all have been there, you know what I'm talking about. It was about this time that this book came out. It was a New York Times bestseller by Marie Kondo. It was called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Any of y'all read that, heard about it? Ended up being a Netflix series. So Kondo was born and raised in Japan, and her beliefs about home organization were grounded in her Shinto beliefs and her faith tradition. She believes that the divine essence resides in aspects of nature around us, every aspect of nature, but also in objects, and objects we have in our lives, whether it's the home or the building themselves, clothes, books, household items, mementos. I think we know in this country, most of us have far more stuff than we really need, right? There's a reason that TV shows like Hoarders and all these, cleaning your house shows, all these things prevail on TV, and why storage units seem to be more pervasive than Starbucks coffee shops. I don't know how we keep building more and more storage units. I'm not sure who's putting what there, but everywhere. So Kondo wrote about getting rid of the stuff we don't need. She advocated a system where people would go through all of their items. They would physically touch them and ask, does this spark joy? Now, if the answer was no, and maybe it did spark joy at some point, but the answer is no, it's time to donate, or depending on the condition, to perhaps throw it away or recycle it. And before releasing this item, she encouraged people to give thanks for it, to give thanks for the usefulness and joy it had brought. Now, my daughter Ava and her 2 best friends, who helped us a lot, we used this method, admittedly not as thoughtfully as Kondo advocated, right? Still get text from Ava and the twins occasionally about, does this spark joy, or does this spark joy anymore, But we tried to really be mindful about the items that we had, and knowing if something was no longer brought joy or was useful, it was time to let it go. Now, it wasn't just for practical reasons of space that we were doing this. Obviously, there was a practicality in my moving to a much smaller location. I wanted to let go of the past because my life was being transformed whether I was ready or not. For the first time in my life, I would be living alone. I wouldn't actively be a mom every single day with my child 2 hours away in college. Letting go of that which I did not need or did not bring joy anymore was a way to allow space for the transformation which was coming, whether I was ready or not. Now, as I was preparing for today's message, the one phrase that kept resounding in my head was, let it go. Let it go. when we grasp so tightly onto things, whether it's the past or our beliefs or ideas, relationships or things that are past their use date. Our hands grasp so strongly, there's no room for anything new to come in, no room for transformation. And if we are not daily transforming, open to whatever it is the Spirit or the universe offers us, then we are dying. Now, I'm sure that many of us saw the Disney movie that was out about 10 years ago, Frozen. Y'all seen Frozen? If you had any kids about the right age, you definitely saw Frozen a lot, right? Now, it tells the story. It's a wonderful animated film. So, it tells the story of Queen Elsa and her younger sister, Anna. Elsa has magical powers of ice and snow, but she has carefully kept them hidden after accidentally injuring Anna as children. Yet Elsa's powers come unleashed on the day of her coronation, and she flees the palace because she is scared of who she is and who she might become. She's scared of the transformation. So Anna seeks out her big sister, with some unlikely companions, because it's a Disney movie, right? And she is able to show her love for Elsa, no matter who she is. And so Elsa accepts herself for who she is, and with love is able to be transformed into this great and loving and magical and powerful queen. Now, one of the most memorable scenes of the movie is when Elsa sings Let It Go. If you never saw the movie, you probably have heard the song, right? There were like a million videos of little kids singing and emoting this whole wonderful song. So Elsa is singing the song, Let It Go. She releases her magical powers. She lets it go. She's not keeping it tightly constrained. And she creates great beauty while living into her transformation, finally releasing the tight grip she has held on her own power and who she really is. One line of the song goes, "I'm never going back. The past is in the past." The transformation is finally emerging when she lets go of the past, the fear, the pain, the limitations. Transformation awaits each one of us each day in both big and in small ways. And during this week, I invite you to set aside some specific time and to think about what is holding me back from transformation. Is it perhaps clinging too tightly to beliefs or ideas, unwilling to expand them? Is it fear? Fear of the unknown or who we might become? Is it being bogged down in the little things or possessions which fill our lives and don't allow room for transformation to enter? So I encourage each one of us during this coming week to take some time to dream big. Dream big. Who is it that the Spirit or the universe is calling us to be? Who is it that the Spirit or the universe is calling you to be? And what do we need to do to let go of? What do we need to let go of to allow this transformation to come? May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Fantastic job. Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and hope, for we are the keepers of the dream. So this month, we are sharing our offering plate with UU Justice Ministry of North Carolina and the Unitarian Universalist Justice Ministry of North Carolina joyfully organizes UUs to co-create a transformative movement for justice through spiritual grounding, collaboration, and imagination. Efforts include UU the Vote, working for Medicaid expansion, which they actually were able to do. I don't know if any of you follow them on social media, but yes. Yay. Reproductive justice, education, equity, and more. We ask that you place your gift in the baskets as they make their way around the room. You are always welcome to give online at puuc.org, or you can be able to text PUUC at the number 73256. Today's offering will now be gratefully received.
We give thanks for the generous offerings from your heart, which help us go forth and transform the world for the better. I invite us now to please rise and body your spirit for our closing hymn found in our gray hymnal, number 108. Before we extinguish our chalice, I offer thanks for all the many volunteers who've helped make our worship service possible. Special thanks to our guest pianist today, Darlene, and for playing Let It Go. Thank you. I emailed her. She said, oh, we can do this. So thank you. We also ask that before you leave today, if you will take your hymnals and place them back on the cart near the piano, that's always a big help. So let us conclude as we do each Sunday by giving thanks for the things for which we are grateful. And during this time, this is still a sacred time, and so I invite us to mindfully and prayerfully offer thanks for what we are grateful today. Community.
I'm grateful for little children.
Sunrise, little children.
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Grandma's visiting.
Grandma's visiting. Amen. Yes, sir.
For music in our hearts and our heads.
Music in our hearts and our heads.
Healing.
Healing. I'm grateful my little boy is turning 30 this week. So very, very excited about that. I offer thanks for this wonderful church community and for all who are gathered here in person, for those who are with us in spirit and also joining us virtually. We give thanks for this beloved community. Let us now go forth, leaving the past behind us, embracing what is ahead of us. We now extinguish our chalice, but we carry its light, its warmth, and its meaning with us until we meet again. May we go in peace, believe in peace, create peace wherever we wander. May it be so. For our closing song, we traditionally form a circle, and you may hold hands if you wish. You may also simply stand there with the circle and place your hands on your heart if you would like to do so.